initial discussion that she was noticing her father-in-law had been having this thing of DNA or no DNA. She even called, he was not talking about it. He never requested for it from her and things like that. And she gave details of how they were going to the magistrate court in Ikorodu, that she was like, okay, it wasn't even her own choice of bringing some conditions. Like she was just like, I was scared of, because this man was telling me to bring my child. After you're telling me you hate me, that I F around, no, 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 I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to just present my child to you. And everything you'll be talking about property, you're having a competition with this, my baby. What if you go and harm him? So she was scared about the safety of her child and him even falsifying results. So she said, her lawyers opinionated that to her, and she was just like, yes, that's okay. A court order will be very fine, and the court should monitor the DNA test and stuff like that. So she was also asked, what are you going to do for now, since this man doesn't want to do the test? He's like, man, I'm going to write these people back, and the court should just monitor whatever I want to do, because I'm not doing it because of he's just going around, he is running away from it. That he even said a pathologist. If you watch it again, go and watch the video. Chude was actually surprised that a pathologist wants to do a DNA test. Pathologists work on, well, don't let us go there, but it is not their discipline. Although he's in the medical field, but it's just like you'd say that a medical doctor, just a medical doctor wants to perform a case of neurology, that is an operation of the brain. It's something, it's not your specialty, you're not specialized in it, so why attempting to do it? So children was surprised, like a pathologist. And she even said that, okay, we are okay with your pathologist doing it, but you have to accept that we will do our own. She now said, Baba said they don't have the money to pay for 2 DNA centers. Go and watch the video again. Wunmi said, Baba said, they don't have money to pay for 2 DNA centers. She now said, don't worry. I don't mind your pathologist doing the DNA, but we'll do ours. I will fund it. That she will pay for her own DNA test she was going to conduct. Please go through the video once again before you criticize her, before you talk out of ignorance. Go through the video again, do it about 3 or 4 times, because while she was talking, that was not when I was picking my points. I had to go back to start picking my points, like, oh, this was what really happened. And if you see, from day one, she never said she wasn't going to do it, but she was like, you're going to do it from my own terms. And in fact, when the terms that he couldn't meet the terms, she said she had to remove 2 of those conditions. And I know that the 2 conditions were those ones of November, that you have to do the one for Mobad, and 2, you have to take it abroad. Now, they are now coming around January. She said all these things. So it's not me saying. She said that by January, they are now writing to them that, oh, okay, there's no DNA center in Nigeria that can do it. We have to take it abroad. Then we have to file a fresh case for it, fresh application for it. Damn. So that's number one point. And if you watch throughout the interview, she never took anybody under the bus. She was even calling this man like he was my best friend. I don't know what came over him, as in to an extent that he was bringing, while I was pregnant, he was bringing food from me from Ikorodu. Go through the video. She mentioned all that. That Mohbad will be surprised that it will be him of all people that he was, apart from that. It's just because Liam is around. If you are saying that Mohbad does not play with his father, that Josie was almost the most important person in his life. She made all those statements. She never threw Mohbad under the bus. Adura, even blessing every member of that family. She was always calling her my husband, my husband, my husband, my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, my brother-in-law, my sister-in-law. That is how. Compare it to interviews of Josie. Bọ́sẹ̀ yẹn kinní kan àdúrà kò pè mí, It shows that you don't even want unity. Whereas this is a very good wife that is trying to unite every other member of the family. And she was even ready to stretch that olive branch to Josie. Even after they met, look at that statement. After they met at
My
the
jacket.
magistrates, when they said that they should, okay, Beauty by Church Ogide, when they said that they should go and meet, she said something. She said, see, I was here, he was here, his lawyer was here, my lawyer was here, and we had a very good discussion. In fact, we had a discussion about, don't allow people defame my child again. And he said, I did not send them. Not knowing that the next day he was going to Abuja, he was going to Brekete to still go and repeat all those things he usually say. It showed that Wunmi was even ready to stretch an olive branch to Josie at some point. That is number two. Number three, issues started for her immediately, no, at the day of the burial. Imagine someone saying that even the day my husband was buried, I never knew about it. I wasn't told about it. There was no meeting like, oh, we're going to bury him like this, we're going to bury him like this. That she heard. Like, oh, I'm at Siankwelo. Then she had to run to the place. That in fact her son ought to have been, okay, let me use Yoruba because of TikTok, ought to have been Jagbalowe Lojoye. That they had to sneak him out of that premises using a polythene bag. Èèyàn nú yín mélòó ló máa ń gbé ọmọ ẹ̀ pẹ̀lú nylon kiri? Issues, the bullying, she said it was continuous for about 3 months, that sleep filled her eyes. Imagine when someone says that. There was a time we said, Wunmi has overcome a lot. If you knew her around October, November, December of 2023, you'll be like, somebody that fails to sleep. If you guys fail to sleep for 2 or 3 days, I know what would happen to you. You will lose your senses. Some people run mad. And this is something that happens to this lady for about 3 good months, consecutively, every day, every minute, every hour of every day. And it hasn't stopped her. But she has overgrown it just because of you and I saying no to the bullying of a widow and no to the threat to the life of a minor. That's number 3. Mohbad was bullied and there was a life-threatening issue even a month before that. Wunmi explained a scenario that even August before he died, that they were trailed and pursued by gunmen a month prior to his death. She also said that the London he went to, that do you know he was even beaten there before he came back. Not forgetting that by June that same year, Samuel Larry also beat him at Elegushi Beach. He was beaten June, beaten July, beaten August. He died December. Who would not have that mentality like, come, he not just came to treat this guy, and this is not the first time this guy would take injection. How come this all done that? Somebody I just spoke to him now. If you are a woman and have that mentality, would you not be like, hey, ṣé kìíní kò ní ọwọ́ ayé nú, ẹjọ́ ẹ lọ róòkù yìí. Èèyàn tí mo ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ bá sọ̀rọ̀, èèyàn tó máa ń gba injection, ó mà ní personal nurse tó máa ń treat tẹ́lẹ̀. Nǹkan kékeré. If you watch, she also touched her hand to show you where the mark was while she was describing it. Why won't you have such a mentality that, oh, come on, I be no be nurse even, I be no be nurse even, no be the injection even kill am. This thing is surprising. Injection wey this man dey collect always, na him come kill am like this. No. Ogbodo rope wey. That is number 4. Number 5. Wunmi did some smart things. And she made mention of that The other, that Jose was instigating other members of the family to gang up against her. I told you something, that there are some things that Wunmi would say when it is time for her to say. I know many of you have never heard that Liam was rescued from the burial place inside a polythene bag. Wunmi came out and made a confirmation today that yes, this is something we've been saying, that Baba Mohbad saw the nurse that night. The Immolenization crew, the management of Imole, wanted to arrest her, and he said, no, free her. I don't have any business with her. We've been saying this thing, and thank God that she came outside to confirm. Temi was not beside Wunmi's ears, speaking into your ears. She spoke freely. She spoke freely. Wunmi is always an appreciative person. And that is something we always tell people here, that she appreciates all the mothers of this platform. Everybody that sends, that stretches a hand of gesture to her, everything that you do to her to make her happy, your prayers, your financial support, your moral support, everything you do to her. And she did that same thing today. They're appreciating the friends of Mohbad. She said, please, can I mention their names? It's enough like generalize, but she was just like, hey, I have to be very specific. And God bless those 5 people. God bless those 5 people. And she never ever forgot people on TikTok. You and I. There was a time some stupid people said she usually addressed us as, hey guys. But today, she gave you the best compliment a general would always tell his army. I have an army behind me. I have an army behind me. If they like, make like they call themselves Senate President, Spartacus, Gladiator. No. Do you know what it means to go to war? It means you're an army. She is also appreciative of the family behind her. Her mom, her dad. They don't need to come to social media before they support their daughter. And that is what you saw today. They don't need to come before they support her. Number 8. There's something I studied in her from A to Z, was her confidence. Was her confidence. Baby, soft like and support me what I'm saying now. Do you know throughout 1 hour 27 minutes of that interview, she was cross-legged? Did anybody notice that? She was cross-legged. That shows a high level of confidence, that I'm not scared of any question you want to throw at me. I am ready to listen to you, and I'm ready to answer them. She wasn't unsettled. She never placed that leg down and started shaking it. She was cross-legged throughout. Go check. A high level of confidence is when you look somebody straight into the eyes. Wunmi was doing that while answering every question. Her hands gesticulations were going with her words. They were not hands that were touching her shoulders to comfort herself or touching her face to show she was lying. No, her hand gestures were moving around, describing the words coming out from her mouth. She was not sweating. And 2, she is a very beautiful woman. The only makeup on her face was that of her lips, the lip gloss, I've been waiting and they call them. She had on her lips. And you might think that she's only beautiful when she puts on a wig. Now she's on braids, Ghana weaving. What are you going to say? What are you going to say? And man, your choice of clothing was so on point. Was so on point. I was just looking at everything, and I was looking at all the lectures that I had in psychology, and I was like, man, babe, you nailed this interview. You just nailed this interview. Your diction, choice of words, intelligence. How should I best answer this question? Hey, no, wait. If you're a police officer, let's even say if you're a police officer listening to her, would you find her guilty or think her as a suspect? And she gave clarity. She gave clarity on what killed Mubad. And that is why I wrote it down before mentioning it here. People going around, oh, all these ones about DNA, you're talking about what killed Mubad. The video is 1 hour 27 minutes long. Go to minute 58. Carefully listen to the questions asked and how she answered them in 2 minutes. The 58th minute to the 60th minute, she mentioned about everything that happened to her husband that caused his death. She was asked about Mohbad. And all she had to say was a mixture of things that will make you laugh and things that will make you cry. And she expressed both. Oh, he's a loving father. He's the quiet person. Me, I'm the disciplinarian. He loved the kids. Me, I'm the one that would like shout, but now I'm the father, I'm the mother. He's somebody like this, is this, is this. You listening to him, he had this legacy. And there's something fantastic she did. Yesterday, we were reading the autopsy results here. A lot of people were like, oh, this guy was having some stuff in him. And she said, she was not even, I don't think this is a live this thing, but she said something that amazes me. She answered the question and she was just like, you know what, an artist will always be an artist, but don't call my husband an addict. He was never addicted. But yes, an artist would always be an artist. But my husband was never an addict. That is who you call a supportive wife that will never destroy the legacy of her husband no matter what. But what did Josie say? Ọmọ mi ó máa kúrò lé mi, ó wá lọ sọ́dọ̀ ọ̀rẹ́ ẹ̀, ó wá lọ ń kọ́yàwó. What are you trying to say, or what are you trying to do to the legacy of your son? What would you do if you see your husband? What she was just saying so many lovely things. And lastly, this is something I would always cherish about Wunmi. She said, there are recordings. And Chudbi was asking, do you have proof of all these things you say? He said, yes, there are recordings. That's why I tell you people, hello fucking we are not stupid to be following this lady sheepishly. It's because we know all what we have, evidence is plenty. Evidence is plenty. There are recordings.
Adawa. Wọ́n fẹ́ fi ògbójú gba evidence lọ́wọ́ wa ni. Àwa ò dẹ̀ ní kólẹ̀, ó di court.
Yeah.
You think you can bully us to drop evidence? They play.
Wọ́n fẹ́ ṣe forensic fóònù, wọ́n fẹ́ gbà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀. Kẹ wá lọ wipe àbí? Bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe sọ pé ẹ ti ń wipe evidence kiri. African TV, you said so yesterday that they are deleting evidences up and down. Sorry, we're not going to give you that chance. But we're going to let you know there are evidences and recordings of everything Wunmi said are facts. This is where I'm going to stop or pause because I know people would want to say one or two things. Remilekun, good evening. Abi, good afternoon. I have to drop now. I have one or two things to do in the office. So this is my submission. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you, Mr. Dawa. God bless you. Beauty by Chocho. Beauty by Chocho.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, Beauty by Chocho.
Good morning, everyone.
I
The
saw
beauty
your
is good morning,
video
ma.
with your mom. The surprise is lovely.
Thank you, man. Good morning. I only came up to clarify something because I tried paying for the what's it called, the subscription, but I couldn't. I don't know what's happening. Is anyone going through that phase as well?
I don't know. It was quite easy for me to.
Me too. Me too. Show you my Naira account to
Ella,
you.
subscribe on 5 p.m. The remaining part of that video is coming up also. And we are going to block the comment section like we did this morning. So go and get your.
Even for should do something, he's saying the same thing.
Yes, it's not free.
I think it's that man.
No, I know.
I can't pay.
Beauty.
Money mi ò lè sanwó, nǹkan tó ń san bíbá náà ló ń san lọ́hùn.
Your account, did you open it when you were in Nigeria?
It was here. Bíbá lèmi ti open the account mi, but my email account tó ń show lórí tí ma fẹ́ sanwó yẹn.
Lipsy, can you let me, could you please mute so that I can attend to Beauty first, then we can come back to yours. If you opened your account